Okay, it's 3:33. I'm just going to assume that this is it. My name is Kristen Drays. I am the brand new chair of the Helena Public Art Committee. Because we have some extra people on today, let's just quick go around and say who we are, why we're here. And since we don't have a quorum, we will not be taking any votes today. So I encourage people who are here to comment about a specific agenda item to just speak up during that agenda item, and I'll make sure that everybody gets a chance to speak. So I'm Kristen Drays. This is my third full year, third full year on the starting of my third year on Helena Public Art Committee. And I am the new chair taking over from Susan Steffens, and been in Helena for about 4 years, going on 5. So that's me. If we go around, Bridget.
Hi, I'm Bridget. I'm a representative for the city of Helena. I'm not on the board.
Not on the board. And Margaret?
I'm Margaret Strawn, and I represent the Helena Community Council, Citizens Council.
Brett?
And I've lived here off and on my whole life. Well, 40 years I didn't, but all the rest of it I've lived in Helena.
Brett?
Yeah, Brett Boundy here, and you guys have just been helping me for quite some time get together this sculpture that is being funded by my son's estate. I lost a son about 3 years ago, and he was very artistic and wanted to turn the whole town into art, and I can't do that much, but we're getting a sculpture going, and so I'm just checking in.
Great. Thanks, Brett. Amanda?
Yeah, my name's Amanda Reese. I just got appointed to the committee, I believe, last month. Just a local graphic designer here in town. Kind of got my hands in a little bit of everything, and I've been here in Helena for about 6 years.
Great. Thanks. Dr. G.
Hi, everybody. Gregory Thomas, just an interested Helena citizen, patron of the arts. Been here closing in on 10 years now.
Oh, nice. Thank you. And last but not least, Troy.
I am Troy Sampson. I'm the city community facilities superintendent. So we've kind of taken over any contracting and the budget process for the Helena Public Art Committee. So we're here to be the liaison between the committee and the commission. So anything we can do to help, we're here. So
awesome. Thank you. Thanks you all. And again, we don't have a quorum, so we're not going to be approving minutes from last time. We'll hold those over to the next meeting. So we're just going to go straight down the agenda. Number 3 is update on the Bounty Memorial. And what is our current status? Brett or Troy?
I guess from the city's perspective, I can speak to the Parks Department is currently compiling all the agreement documents with the artist. So we're just in process with that. I believe Brett and Bridget were talking. There'll be the funding will come in this week or next week to get into the budget so that we can expend those dollars once we get that agreement in place.
Yep, and I will bring the funds in actually next Monday.
Okay.
To Bridget.
Perfect. Do we have, has the artist been contracted?
So no, that is the contract that we're currently putting together that information. We've been working with the city attorney's office to make sure we got the right agreement format, and we'll work with Paul to, we're kind of getting the scope of work lined out so that we can incorporate that into the agreement.
Great. Once that contract is signed, it would be great for the committee to have the due dates for all of that, just so we can help keep an eye on it. But from my point of view, it is now a relationship between the Bounties, the Parks and Rec, and the city and the artist. Does that seem reasonable to the staff and Brett? We want to make sure that HPAC can help in any way, but I don't want to step in the middle of something that's already running pretty smoothly at this point.
No, that sounds great to me. Yes, I think I'll have to get into this point. So.
Great. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Anything else on the Bounty installation, the memorial? Perfect. Number 4 is update on ghost signs, which was last we heard Mayor Collins had talked to both Patrick and was trying to get in touch with Firestone, and I don't have an update after that. He was going to be getting a letter on his letterhead to send out to Firestone Corporate. So I guess we'll hear it, unless you've heard anything about that, Bridget.
I have not.
Okay, well, we can get in touch with him. Then that number 5 is preliminary discussion of additional and or alternate ideas for public outreach in the time of COVID. Essentially, the minimal amount of outreach that HPAC does do is attending the spring and the fall art walks when we have them. Generally, we get a table in the Holter Museum. We have in the past couple times provided something interactive for the younger participants to take care of, and we have our brochure out and talk about what HPAC does in the community. The other thing that HPAC does is, in conjunction thematically with Symphony Under the Stars, we put on Chalk Up Helena, which happens in July, the Saturday of the Symphony Under the Stars weekend. And it is a very popular, lighthearted, but very popular chalk art, street art competition amongst anybody, the folks who want to sign up and come. We've had it be people pay for it in the past. Were we to have had it in 2020, we had agreed as a committee to have it free for all participants. Generally what we do is we try to get some awards from local businesses. We have a storehouse of participation ribbons and chalk. And so I'd like to, from what I understand from the health, from Lewis and Clark County Health, their hope is to have everybody double immunized by mid-May. Everybody with a probably sometime in June, have everybody immunized, which opens us up to have an actual Chalk It Up. I'm also on the board for the symphony. The symphony in conjunction with Carroll College puts on Symphony Under the Stars, free concert one time a year. And both the symphony and Carroll College feel very strongly that we'll be able to have a live in-person version of Symphony Under the Stars. So we were caught off guard in 2020, as we all were, trying to get something like Chalk Up Helena to do. What I'd like to do is just a little, spend a little time thinking. We can also bring it up at the next one, so hopefully we have more members, to talk about other ways that HPAC could approach our community without touch, like a no touch approach. And if you don't have ideas now, we can bring it back next time, because that was it. I'd like to just get that started. Off the top of our heads, does anybody have an idea for no touch outreach?
Man, that's a hard one, especially with kind of so many unknowns right now. You know, I think now that I can hopefully come up with some ideas for the next meeting.
Great.
And just kind of keep that in the back of my mind. And also too, I'm just looking here at the Chalk Up Helena graphic that we have. That's something I think we could definitely kind of get a little bit more of a solid brand around that, and some kind of fun illustration to be able to kind of advertise through social media. And so that's definitely something I'd be, willing to help with. And I don't think
Awesome.
It would take very much work.
Awesome. Yeah, I believe it's Comic Sans or
It's pretty close.
chalkboard in multicolors, right?
Yeah.
And we have so much art now the chalk art and photos of the chalk art, that it's been spectacular. That would be great. Thank you.
Yeah, make some frames for that, just some promotional, squares, and then kind of update that logo as well.
Great. That would be wonderful. I had also been thinking about being more involved with the art walks this year when we didn't have the live art walks. The community of storefronts that do the art walks got together and did their own thing. And it would be great to have been involved with that. It would be great to have a committee of people who could get involved with that. Also, we had a subcommittee in 2019 to do Chalk Up Helena, so I'll be looking to create a little subcommittee of that. Everybody kind of works the day, but to get it ready needs a little subcommittee. Any other thoughts on that? No. Okay. We're going to go on to the brochure. And Bridget, you were going to have someone checking in with us about the brochure. Did you ask?
Yeah, that's actually Amanda.
Oh, that's what I thought. Okay, so Amanda, Nick Ladis, who is not here today, but is re-upping his commitment to the committee, is the original designer for the current brochure that we have. And it was current as of, it must have been the beginning of last year. So it was pre-COVID. It was just pre-COVID that is the current. So I will encourage the two of you to kind of take a look at what we would need to update, if anything, with all of the verbiage in it, and all of the images were approved by this committee a year ago. And that's how new it is.
Oh, that's not too bad. And then once I saw the design that Bridget had sent, it actually looked pretty great.
Yeah, it's not how bad. And we went around and around on how to describe the mission and our that. So, but so now you know that Nick is the one, and Nick who isn't here, did mention in an email to us that he still has those master files, the first files that he had.
Yep, I saw that. And so he was going to track those down from his old employment.
Awesome. Okay, does anybody else have a comment on the brochure?
This is Margaret, do we have a plan for how we're going to make use of the brochure once we have it? Are we mailing it out? Are we putting it in with the water bill? Are we handing it out on the street corners?
That goes right along with how to no touch get people involved with Helena Public Art, and those are all fabulous ideas. Does someone on the call know what we would need to do to have the city of Helena have some form of insert with our bill?
I'm not sure. I know that HCC has talked about how to do that, and I wasn't involved in that, but I know that that was one of the ways that we were sending out information. Okay. So I could follow it up if you'd like.
Yeah, if you could follow up with that, it would be great to have HPAC get a swing on that.
Yeah.
The time in that. Thank you very much.
And Chris, and this is Troy, and even for Margaret, I'm happy to follow up with our water division too on their
that'd be
process.
That'd be great.
Just have the process, we can get it. And then maybe Amanda, you can help weed it down to because it's usually just it's usually a 3-up cut into thirds, single piece of paper that goes out with the, so we got the brochures printed up, some online source because it was cheap. So we'll figure out something like that. Awesome.
When you do check up on that, and they say we can do it, would you find out if there's a weight or size requirement?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you.
Onward, we're going to kick through this. The number 7 is unveiling ceremony for Equity Fountain, working with Ron Waterman. Ron was a non-HPAC, the leader of the people who did all the funding for the Equity Fountain. It is on hold until we can get water running again, which is after the winter. And I think as plans for public events start being made, as vaccines start rolling out, we'll have a better idea of when and how we can make that an educational and public event. And I can keep in touch with Ron. He and I are on another board together. So that is what that means. The Rodney traffic signal box, we're just waiting for someone to tell us if they're going to take it away. I mean, I drove by it the other day. I'm like, well, why don't they just leave it there? But I don't know about the Department of Transportation if they're going to take it away. But Amanda, you'll know when they take it away, and it should be not in the next 9 months.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I've got a meeting with Chris and Retta from the Myrna tomorrow, and so
Okay.
they might have kind of an update. I think they would maybe know as much as Mayor Wilmot does. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just kind of waiting to hear. Right now for the Rodney project, we've kind of got a survey going out to the entire neighborhood to try and discover the historical and cultural identity.
Yeah.
You know, and just to kind of garner that interest in kind of community led public art. So I'll definitely keep you guys in the loop on that as that process is going.
Perfect.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's all the little subgroups that don't necessarily feed in unless we happen to have a member into
Right.
Helena Public Art that I'd like to, over this year, that's kind of one of my goals, and we're going to look at number 9, is try to figure out who those players are and how we can make sure that there's representation both ways, HPAC to those committees and committees to HPAC.
Absolutely, I'm right there with you.
Yeah, okay, good. Then you and I are now, you raise your hand to be elected to that outreach team.
All right.
Okay. The new funding ideas, and this is something that we were working with to put anywhere between a 1% and 2% tax on new construction within the city, and that having that 1% to 2% go back into public arts for the city. I believe it was Mayor Collins who was going to be telling us what that process would be, and he's not here. So unless someone else has a clue about that process, Troy or Bridget, how to be bringing that up to the commission.
You know, I don't, Kristen. I think that I kind of looked at what Susan had sent out prior, and what other municipalities are doing. I don't know their processes, but now is the perfect time because we're entering into our budget cycle. But if it's creating a new tax, so to speak, that's a piece I don't know. I don't know what that process is internally to the city to if that's during the rate setting period, for all the tax base throughout the city. But I can touch base with our finance department and just see if they have any ideas on what that would take. And then the process, the concept coming forward to the commission would probably come from a letter or something from the committee.
Okay.
But yeah, let's figure out the details of how that would really happen.
Right. Either you can do that, or give me the contact name and I can start having that conversation about process and policy.
Okay.
I don't want to, I'd like to know enough about it and I don't want to put more on your plate.
Sure. No, I understood. Yeah. And so maybe I'll figure out who, which division or department, and I can put you in touch with them.
Great. Thank you. Fantastic. Okay. Well, that went very smoothly because we've actually cut through all of our very quick updates for the agenda. And we have no quorum, so we're not taking any votes. We do have at least 2 folks online who represent our public. Do we have any public comment? Kathy Thomas?
Sorry to be late to the meeting. I just.
Oh, and it was a quick
left
meeting
work.
too.
Yeah, I just left work. Were you just talking about the percent for art?
Yes.
Okay. I think you might need to have the commission do some sort of a resolution for that to establish such a program. And so prior to that, you'd probably need to do some kind of memo to the commission requesting it, and why. What would be
Okay.
the rationale for it? What would be the benefits? That kind of stuff, and any information on what you have on what other communities are doing, especially Missoula's got it. So, that might take a little further discussion, but
Okay. Wonderful. I will take that on and draft that and make sure that either we all get it before the next meeting, depending on what our timeline is, or at the next meeting.
One of the things, it's me again.
great.
One of the things that I think we need to define is, what do we mean by new construction?
Mhm.
I mean, is it streets, sidewalks, roads? Is that what we are talking about? Are we talking about an additional tax on home building? I doubt we are, and I don't think that would be a good idea. But I think before we go to the council, we should have answers to those questions of who are we talking about and whose money does it tap into? The ones I'm familiar with really only related to public dollars spent. So public buildings or streets and sidewalks and such, but not any private construction.
And commercial construction? What about commercial construction?
As far as I don't believe we did commercial construction either. But we could. It's just a matter of looking at how we're going to, what we mean. And I think that would be the first question they'd want to know. So we should think about that, even if it's a range of possibilities.
I'll do some research onto best practices for that. Kathy?
sorry, following up on what Margaret was saying. Yeah, I think you'd want to outline, well, what kind of projects would that cover? In what circumstances would it be required? I think state law provides guidance on public art, on the Percent for Art program. And you could also talk to Montana Arts Council,
Okay.
because they're really familiar with it.
Yes, they are. Okay. Wonderful. Well, I have some marching orders for me, and Amanda and I have some marching orders as well. Do we have any other comment or question?
My only comment is that I think that the the inoculations are happening quicker now. And in fact, my husband and I both have appointments, and we really didn't have to work at that to get them. Well, we had to get old, but I mean, other than
Can't get
that.
old. Wait a minute. That took many years. That's good. That it's my understanding as well, hearing from epidemiologists in back east, and hearing other people talk that things will start moving forward a little bit. These are all the kinks in the system being worked out right now. So fantastic. If that is it with my marching orders, and I'll come back with more information next time. Our next meeting is February 18th, 3:30, and until further notice, we're doing this via Zoom. Someday we may all meet again. Oh, and that would be wonderful.
Wouldn't it be great?
Really looking forward to that. Okay. I thank you all so much. And
Thank you.
I will see you in a month.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Guys.
Hmm.